Puppet-Mancy 101. As you can see, I have nothing up my sleeves, and we're ready to begin. We're going to need a few tools, like a tape measure, a marker, a pair of scissors, a few screwdrivers, one really, a safety blade with a sharp blade, a pair of pliers, a hammer, not really, a hacksaw, a drill, and a few screws, and a few lug bolts, some dowel rods, some old rope if you have any laying around, and some PVC pipe. Now this is electrician's PVC pipe that I've used on a previous project. That's why they have holes in them. When you find them, they will not have these holes, but I drilled all these holes in about 30 feet of PVC pipe, which was a lot of fucking fun. Alright, so I've already measured out how big I want my puppet to be, and I am going to make my leg segments and arm segments 3.5 inches each. And I get my hacksaw out and I just start cutting. It would be best if you have a bandsaw, but if you don't have one, a hacksaw will work. And this stuff cuts through really quick, and before you know it, it's a puppet. That's it. That's all you gotta do. There you go, everyone. Alright, now if you can see here, I have the rope arms on, and I'll explain those in a moment, but it's basically just rope running through the arms, which makes it very pliable and easy to use. But I also have these hero arms. The hero arms are very posable. They have wing nuts on them so that you can loosen and tighten them, and the lag bolts that go through them can be tightened up with a screwdriver, so you can put them in a hero pose if you need to. Now to swap out the arms, you just use a screwdriver, stick them in the holes that are already there that luckily for me I had put in there a long time ago, and then you can just put the arm you're wanting to swap out in place. Now this one is a little loose at first. I will tighten it in a moment, but I pushed down on the table just to get it in there nice and tight. But you can see that lag bolt up there is loose. I will tighten it in a moment with a screwdriver, but you get the idea that you can kind of pose these arms in a hero pose. So if you need your puppet to be, holding a knife coming at someone, you can just put it in the right there. It's also, you can manipulate them also. They just don't manipulate as well as the rope arms. But these hero arms are pretty cool. There's probably an easier way to do it. I use brackets and those wing nuts and some machine screws. There you go. You can see that arm just moves so much easier, and it's easier to manipulate. And there are some eye screws that I've attached also, so that you can use control rods to move them around. I don't have control rods, so I'm going to be using right now just some dowel rods. You'll see in a little bit what I mean by that. The legs, I made them a little over complicated. As I was testing out how to make him walk, I realized just having straight legs would work, but this allows you to do the hero pose if you need them to be sitting somewhere on a shelf or something. You can use the bolts, loosening up the wing nuts, and put them the way you want to. Now there's on the back here, I'm going to show you in a second. Well, that's what he looks like. But on the back here, you have this hole here for this PVC tee that I used. And the reason for it is you can put a control rod, or also what I will call a tripod. It's the third leg. You can use it to manipulate it. I'm trying to walk it here, but this isn't really how it walks. I'm just goofing off. I'll show you in a moment. You're going to see some footage of them actually walking, but that allows you to stand them up, and you can use the hero arms to pose them the way you want to for those hero shots. But yeah, now let's look at him walking. As you can see here, I've got the knee joints loosened, and they keep buckling, and they just don't work well. I'm sure someone who's good at puppeteering would be able to do it, but here I've straightened them up, and they walk really well, especially when you're going to have clothes on them. That's really about all you're going to need. It's just a walking puppet coming at you. It's a little, you got to get used to how they work. And as you see the back end there, that you can use that control rod, you can turn it either way so that you can hold it and make him walk. And what's really cool about that is you can use a long piece of PVC pipe, so you don't actually have to get on the ground to control him. You can just be standing and use it. I tried that a few times earlier, and I don't think I actually got footage of it, but it works really well. And you see here it is turned as a tripod, and he's in a hero pose. Looks pretty cool. It's some of the stuff could be tightened up a little bit there, moved around. He's falling over, but yeah, working with a puppet is pretty cool. Now I'm going to turn him into Orlok. As you can see, he's wearing his cape, and that's what this puppet's supposed to be. Now the head, that's just a ball that I used markers to give him eyes and a mouth. So don't think that that's what he's supposed to look like. Somebody else is going to make the head and the clothes. That cape is just something I threw on just to get an idea of what he's going to look like with the cape on. And here he is again, me just putting the head in so you can get a look at what it looks like, which is really stupid. And there he is with his cape. Yeah, it's very regal. Yeah, I'd be scared of him. Now, I was trying to film this and control him at the same time, and it's hard to do. Now, I would use control rods here and actually have it running through the cape instead on the outside, but right now all I have are these dowel rods, so that's what I was using. And but that would hide if you use the control rods. They're just kind of like wires that run through there, and you can have them underneath the cape, and they would be hidden a little better. And then of course you can always paint them and then key them out if you use the right colors. Let somebody else do that if you're smart. But here again, I have the camera on, and I can't see exactly what I'm filming, so I'm covering his face. You're supposed to just be seeing his eyes here, but you can't. And there he is doing his little dance for you. But the arms with these are both the rope arms, and they work really well. I'm pretty happy with the way they turn out. They look cool and move. Just need the control rods, and once we have those, we'll be set to manipulate this little guy. And just some more footage of him moving around. I reframed it here. I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. There's a few changes I'm going to make, but overall, I'm happy with what this is.